What is your path to Dharma?
Deva. Thank I just wanted to start out thanking Vyasa and just calling in the energy of the wisdom that really he captured in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, hi, welcome back. Here we are, day 2, summer reading marathon. Shannon here, I'm here, Shay. And we're on day 2 of our summer reading marathon, which we've decided is just going to go until whenever.
Yep.
We've really liked the way it felt yesterday to get up and read. We got up, walked the dogs, read the Srimad Bhagavatam. It just put me in a very nice vibration for the whole day. And seems like a good way to start. So thanks so much for tuning in to us. We've missed you all, actually.
Yes.
It's been a crazy few weeks in life. Sometimes the universe just has crazy things unfold and you do your best to react. So anyway.
Amen to that. I think it's funny that you were just thanking Vyasa because as I was waiting for you to get on, that's what I was doing. Just having some great deep gratitude for the author of this, for really getting this written down for us to be able to, all these years later, come to it and appreciate it and hear this divine wisdom. So thank you, Vyasa Dave. I love you.
Thank you, Vyasa. Shout out.
Vyasa.
First. Okay.
All right, so today we are on Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Part 1, Chapter 7. You have anything else you want to say before I go into the obeisances?
I don't think so. I'm excited to read further inquiries by Vidura.
Yes. All right, before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna! All right, I'm so excited to begin. Let's just jump into it. Yeah, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start today. So here we are, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 7, Further Inquiries by Vidura. And this is just to kind of, sometimes I have to wrap my mind around where is this conversation taking place. All of this is being related by Sutta Goswami, and he's telling a story about a story about a story. Right?
Yes, this is Inception.
Yes, it's the film Inception, right? Okay, so here we are. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, "O king, while Maitreya, the great sage, was thus speaking, Vidura, the learned son of Dvaipayana Vyasa, expressed a request in a pleasing manner by asking this question." I love that.
Sri Vidura said, O Brahman, since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the complete spiritual whole and is unchangeable, how is he connected with the material modes of nature and their activities? If this is his pastime, how do the activities of the unchangeable take place and exhibit qualities without the modes of nature?
Again, with these questions that I can't even think of.
Another great question.
Seriously. So good. Okay, text 3. Boys are enthusiastic to play with other boys or with various diversions because they are encouraged by desire. But there's no possibility of such desire for the Lord because he is self-satisfied and detached from everything at all times. Okay, so if he has no desire, then if desire is what makes us do things?
Right.
Good question, Vidura.
By his self-sheltered potency of the 3 modes of material nature, the Lord has caused the creation of this universe. By her, he maintains the creation and conversely dissolves it again and again. By his self-sheltered potency of the 3 modes of material nature, the Lord. Right. Sometimes I need to read everything twice.
I know. What does he mean by her he maintains the creation?
By her, or the 3 modes of material nature, her.
I wonder.
The Lord has caused the creation of this universe. or maybe the universe is her. By her, by the creation of the universe, he maintains the creation and
Maybe.
conversely dissolves it again and again.
The pure soul is pure consciousness and is never out of consciousness, either due to circumstances, time, situations, dreams, or other causes. How then does he become engaged in nascence?
You know
How?
something? Is this whole chapter going to be questions, and then we're going to have to
Yeah,
read chapter,
probably.
and then we're going to have to read
Probably.
chapter 8?
Yeah, probably.
Text 6. The Lord as the supersoul is situated in every living being's heart. Why then do the living entities' activities result in misfortune and misery? Why?
Such a good question. I want to know the answer to this. Oh, great and learned one, my mind is greatly illusioned by the distress of this nascence, and I therefore request you to clear it up.
Please.
Yeah, tell us.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, Maitreya being thus agitated by the inquisitive Vidura, at first seemed astonished, but then he replied to him without hesitation, since he was fully God conscious. Oh, so we do get the answer.
Okay, we get the answer. Srimad Maitreya said, certain conditioned souls put forward the theory that the Supreme Brahman, or the personality of Godhead, is overcome by illusion or Maya, and at the same time, they maintain that he is unconditioned. This is against all logic. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Yes. Yes.
The living entity is in distress regarding his self-identity. He has no factual background, like a man who dreams that he sees his head cut off.
Wow, this answer is going to be good. I already can tell. As the moon reflected on water appears to the seer to tremble due to being associated with the quality of the water, so the self associated with matter appears to be qualified as matter. Okay,
So we're identifying with the body,
that's like a whole master's thesis.
right?
Like,
So what
what?
comes so is that saying that we're identifying with the body rather than the pure spirit soul within us, and that's what's causing our distress?
Maybe. Let me read it again. As the moon reflected on water appears to the seer to tremble due to being associated with the quality of water, so the self associated with matter appears to be qualified as matter. Ay, ay, ay. This is kind of, to me, one of those things that's kind of hard to wrap your mind around where, yeah, okay, I understand what he's saying here, but it's really hard to grasp when you're in the illusion. I think about that story I was reading about Narada, being one day Narada was having a conversation with Vishnu, and he was saying to Vishnu, what is this Maya? What is this illusion that everybody's talking about? I've never, experienced that. And Vishnu's like, would you run down to the river and grab me some water, and then I'll tell you about it. And Narada goes down to the water and meets a beautiful woman, basically forgets who he is, has a whole entire life, becomes a whole, gets caught in a whole lifetime of Maya. And then at some point in the illusion, it's like his family dies and he's like grieving, because he's lost everything, and he suddenly wakes up and he's like, oh, dang, wait. Back up to Vishnu. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so in that sense, what was Narada asking? Like, what is this?
Right.
And you can only experience it by experiencing it. And I think there is something to that sort of like lived experience, literally, of being in a mortal body that's hard to put words around, especially for us trying to grasp that we are a higher soul in some way, because this feels super real down here and very, very real.
It
Events are
does.
happening. Right.
Right. I was just reading part of the purport, and it actually really
Okay.
helps clear it up a bit, so I'm going to read a bit of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Similarly, the light of the Lord is equally distributed everywhere, but due to being differently received, it appears to be different. One should not, therefore, accept the reflection of the moon on the water as actual and misunderstand the whole situation through monistic philosophy. The
Okay.
quivering quality of the moon is also variable. When the water is standing still, there is no quivering. A more settled, conditioned soul quivers less. But due to material connection, the quivering quality is more or less present everywhere.
Ah,
So it's
okay.
It's the Maya, and then we identify with the Maya, and we identify with matter of as this is our body, right? Even the text 10, the living entity is in distress regarding his self-identity. He has no factual background, like a man who dreams that his head's being cut off. And so the
Yeah.
distress is regarding our self-identity. We can't identify ourselves when we're looking in a mirror because it's not actually us. It's just
Yeah.
the avatar, it's just matter,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if I'm really understanding that correctly, but that's how it's making sense to me. Okay, text 12.
That's
Yes, by that misconception of self-identity, but that misconception of self-identity can be diminished gradually by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, through the process of devotional service to the Lord in the mode of detachment.
okay. Okay. When the senses are satisfied in the seer supersoul, the personality of Godhead, and merge in him, all miseries are completely vanquished as after a sound sleep. That's where it's like when you get into trust and surrender.
Yeah.
You have no worries then. You have no worries. Yeah.
And when the senses are satisfied in the seer, so you're not craving more, it's just you're just satisfied.
Yeah.
Simply by chanting and hearing of the transcendental name, form, etc., of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one can achieve the cessation of unlimited miserable conditions. Therefore, what to speak of those who have attained attraction for serving the flavor of the dust of the Lord's lotus feet?
Ooh. Read that line again. Say it again.
Simply by chanting and hearing of the transcendental name, form, etc., of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one can achieve the sensation of unlimited miserable conditions. I'm not
Wow.
really getting that. What does that mean?
Sensation of unlimited miserable
Oh,
conditions.
so
So
you're okay.
yeah, stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Therefore, what to speak of those who have attained attraction for serving the flavor of the dust of the Lord's lotus feet?
Ah, that's a beautiful visual, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Vidura said, "O powerful sage, my lord, all my doubts about the supreme personality of Godhead and the living entities have now been removed by your convincing words. My mind is now perfectly entering into them."
O learned sage, your explanations are very good, as they should be. Disturbances to the conditioned soul have no other basis than the movement of the external energy of the Lord.
Both of the lowest of fools and he who is transcendental to all intelligence enjoy happiness, whereas persons between them suffer the material pangs. Oh,
Mm.
wow. Okay, so it's like the lowest of fools. And I think what he means by that is like that blissful ignorance. You've heard
Yeah.
that term, blissful ignorance. So it's like, I didn't even know. I didn't even know how bad it was. I'm just like blissfully ignorant about, you know,
It
that.
says, yeah,
On the person on the other end of it who like knows all the things, and everybody else we're just like stuck in the middle going, what is this?
yeah, it says right here, the lowest of fools do not understand material miseries. They pass their lives merrily and do not inquire into the miseries of life. Such persons are almost on the level of the animals, who, although in the eyes of superiors are always miserable in life, are unaware of material distresses.
That's crazy. Yeah, they just don't know. You're just floating through life.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Text 18.
Text 18.
But, my dear sir, I am obliged to you because now I can understand that this material manifestation is without substance, although it appears real. I am confident that by serving your feet, it will be possible for me to give up the false idea.
Yeah. By serving the feet of the spiritual master, one is enabled to develop transcendental ecstasy in the service of the personality of Godhead, who is the unchangeable enemy of the Madhu demon and whose service vanquishes one's material distresses. Yeah. We've heard over and over about going to the teachers and finding a teacher, and
And we get those comments very
I
regularly.
do get comments regularly, and I do appreciate that. I almost feel like part of our soul's journey is to get to that through a different way, maybe.
It's
Well,
clear. Yeah.
you know, we've just basically started learning about all these things. We really weren't reading the Srimad Bhagavatam until what, like this year.
Yeah, this year. Yeah.
So I have to trust that whoever that is that's supposed to teach us is going to show up. Right? It's not that I'm not required to look. Okay. Yes, I have to make the effort to actually look,
Right.
but
Action.
I do feel that Krishna has a plan. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, where are we? Text
Text
20.
20.
This is me. Persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead, the Vaikunthas. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the controller of all living entities.
Mm.
Yeah.
After creating the total material energy, the Mahatattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it.
The Purusa incarnation lying on the causal ocean is called the original Purusa in the material creations, and in his Virat form, in whom all the planets and their inhabitants live, he has many thousands of legs and hands. Oh, God, that was so interesting reading in Canto 2 about all of that and what
Yeah.
everything. You remember reading that? It was like, the trees are the hair on his hands and that,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
all so cool.
O great Brahman, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his senses, sense objects, and 10 kinds of their life air exist, with 3 kinds of life vigor. Now, if you will, kindly explain to me the different powers of the specific divisions.
Oh, my Lord, I think that the prowess manifest in the forms of sons, grandsons, and family members has spread all over the universe in different varieties and species.
I learned, Brahman. I learned, O learned Brahman. Please describe how the leader of all the demigods, named Prajapati Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. Please describe the Manus also, and please describe the descendants of those Manus.
O son of Mitra, kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth as well as underneath it. And also please mention their measurement as well as that of the earthly planets.
Please.
Please.
Also, please describe the living beings under different classifications. Subhumans, humans, those born of the embryo, those born of perspiration, those who are twice born, birds, and the plants and vegetables. Kindly describe their generations and subdivisions also.
That's
Please.
a crazy breakdown of right? Right? Is that a crazy breakdown? Humans, subhumans,
Yeah.
born of the embryo. Sorry, those born of the embryo, those born of perspiration, those who are twice born, plants and vegetables. Okay. What's really cool, I was listening to some science this morning, some like big science nerd. They were talking about this paper somebody wrote that is suggesting that there's consciousness in everything, which again, this is what we've heard over and over. Like this is not news to
Right.
debate it. Right. But like, or to what, all of this stuff we're reading. It's just really interesting how science is starting to confirm now thousands of years later. Wild.
Right.
Please also describe the incarnations of the material modes of nature, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesvara. And please describe the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his magnanimous activities.
O great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas.
Man, yeah, this is going to be an answer from like.
I'm like, are we going to hear that in this?
No, I doubt it. I doubt it because these are the questions. You're right.
We have a bit. We have a bit to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Please also describe the expansions of different sacrifices and the paths of mystic powers. Yes. Analytical study of knowledge and devotional service, all with their respective regulations. I I don't know why I get obsessed about some of this stuff, but this idea of like the different paths, the different ways to get to one place are so fascinating to me.
Yeah,
And how we've just been born in bodies that are designed, is that even the right word? To go toward a certain way because we're
right.
just like, drawn toward that way, or not.
Text 31. Please also describe the imperfections and contradictions of the faithless atheists, the situation of crossbreeding, and the movement of the living entities in various species of life according to their practical modes of nature and work.
Wow, Vidura. Wait. You may also describe the non-contradictory causes of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation, and also the different means of livelihood and different processes of law and order as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. He's like, basically everything. Tell me everything.
It's so funny because in past chapters that we've read when it's been all questions, we were saying the same thing. So basically tell us everything. And now it's like, boop, different set of questions that's going to answer everything.
Yeah.
Please also explain the regulations for offering respects to the forefathers, the creation of the Pitraloka, the time schedule on the planets, stars, and luminaries, and their respective situations.
Please also describe the fruitive results of charity and penance and of digging reservoirs of water. Please describe the situation of persons who are away from home and also the duty of a man in an awkward position. What? Yes. This question is blowing my mind right now.
O sinless one, because the personality of Godhead, the controller of all living entities, is the father of all religion and all those who are candidates for religious activities, kindly describe how he can be completely satisfied.
How? Oh, best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples, and sons, and without being asked by them, the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge.
Please describe how many dissolutions. Am I saying that right? Please
Uh-huh.
des- please describe how many dissolutions there are for the elements of material nature and who survives after the dissolutions to serve the Lord while he is asleep.
Yeah. Wow. What are the truths regarding the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead? What are their identities? What are the specific values and the knowledge in the Vedas? And what are the necessities for the spiritual master and his disciples?
Spotless devotees of the Lord have mentioned the source of such knowledge. How could one have knowledge of devotional service and detachment without the help of such devotees?
My dear sage, I have put all these questions before you with a view to knowing the pastimes of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the friend of all, so kindly describe them for all those who have lost their vision.
O spotless one, your answer to all these questions will grant immunity from all material miseries. Such charity is greater than all Vedic charities, sacrifices, penances, etc.
Yeah, wow. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, thus, the chief of the sages, who was always enthusiastic about describing topics regarding the personality of Godhead, began to narrate the descriptive explanation of the Puranas, being so infused by Vidura. He was very much enlivened by speaking on the transcendental activities of the Lord. So he's like, yes,
Thus,
I got an answer. I have an answer.
thus
I,
ends
ah,
chapter 7.
oh man. I just, we're gonna like find out a bunch of stuff. And like coming up.
Yeah.
Go back again and again to this whole idea of I can't even think of one good question, and Verdura just pops out like the question of the ages, just like,
Oh my
wait a second,
gosh.
yeah, I got a question, and then he just like
And
just
please.
just the things he's asking, I would never even consider to even think of to even ask. Wow.
So good. I'm so looking forward to hearing the answer, but it was such a pleasure to even hear the questions.
Yeah, it definitely was. I just again sort of go back to that scene of everyone surrounding Sukadeva Goswami and being like, tell me more. You know what I mean? Like, please tell me more. And it's like now my tray is all lit up by Vidura's questions, and he's about to
Uh-huh.
throw down some epic truth. I okay, well, we said we were just gonna do a chapter a day. I think we should stick to that because we're
I
gonna just
think so
keep going.
too.
And this will get us to really want to know the answer to that tomorrow. So,
Yes.
thanks so much for
Ah,
this.
what a pleasure.
What a pleasure. Thank you for the comments, and I don't I don't know what we asked them this time, because I feel like the whole time I was just like, what? What Vidura? What? So it's like I don't know if we've asked any specific questions, but y'all's comments are always amazing. So
Oh,
thank you for
yes. And thank you so much for just being here and sharing in this energy with us.
yeah, for sure. All right. Let's go do some other stuff, Shay.
All right, until tomorrow, my friends. Stay
Hare Krishna.
tuned. Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.